All right, so this morning my wife and I had a nice, beautiful talk. We call it pillow talk. We kind of talked about a couple of things. One was suffering, or surrender, really. You can kind of think of surrender as releasing whatever you're suffering about to God or to Source. In the sense of, I saw something on Facebook where a friend of mine was struggling with life in general, confusion, frustration, all those things. We've all been there, frustrated about, let's say, finances or relationships with your kids or not knowing what to do next. But one thing I've learned that's helped in surrendering is actually letting go and asking God, asking the universe to, asking Source to intervene. Like when you don't know what to do, or when you've tried prayer, you've tried meditation, you've tried all these different things, whatever you do, and it's still not working. What helps me is I'll just say, God, universe, Source, please handle this through me. Handle this. Surrender it to you. And at times, like if I'm in an emotional state where I'm having a hard time to get out, I'll just lay down and do it. And I'll get still and I'll listen. And I'll get the whatever I need. One other thing I learned is often when you get still and you listen, you can hear the sound that's under everything. Kind of sounds like ringing or static, or some people think it might be tinnitus, but it's not tinnitus. It's like ancient cultures call it different things. Some call it the voice of God. Some call it the river of life. But by getting still and listening to that, that can be therapeutic. And as you learn to surrender more and more, and as you still yourself and listen, you may begin to feel, hear, or even see different things. The divine can communicate through all sorts of ways. You've probably heard it. Those people who are clairvoyant, clairaudient, precognition, all these different ways that life can communicate with you. As you begin to surrender and open yourself up to receiving that guidance, you'll get it. Ask, seek, ask, and you'll find. Asking, you'll get your answer. So, the second thing we talked about, what was it, sweetheart? Can't remember.
About the journey and how...
Yeah, life itself and the journey. So, a lot of our friends have dealt with loss. We all deal with what feels like loss of our loved ones when they leave, when they die, or transition, as some say. So, I remember a good friend of mine that had passed away, our producer, one of our videos, passed away. I got to be there for him like the day before he passed away, and several times prior to that. But at the end of his life, we got somewhat close, but I was really surprised at how much it affected me. Like, it hit me kind of out of the blue once he passed. I just felt this immense, I guess, sorrow. I didn't really know how to process it, but it was one of those things I had to surrender to and just allow to unflow, or allow to flow and unfold. And often we have these emotions that we try to push away, or certain things that are naturally arising for us that are really healthy for us to process through. Not just try to get away or push away or reject, but to actually embrace and understand what it's bringing. Understand by allowing it to flow and process, it can move through you, and that energy, because emotion is energy, so that energy can be processed instead of sticking, becoming traumatic, or becoming a block inside of your energy body, let's just call it. So as you begin to process through these things, you can ask questions like, how do I need to see this right now in a way that is higher, a way that is better? What lesson is this bringing me for my benefit? Because at the end of the day, the divine has intelligently designed all things, all life, all cells, all stars, all planets, all galaxies, everything for our expansion and our benefit. And if we can open ourselves to the lesson and trust that when something comes our way, it's for our good, we begin to ask that question, okay, what's the lesson here? What's the good here this is bringing? And it elevates us. We're not here to suffer. That's the bottom line. We're not here to suffer. What happened?
The battery thing came on.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. So we're not here to suffer. That's the bottom line. And the things that cause us to suffer are resistance. Resistance to what is. Resistance to the things that come up in our life. As we're able to release that resistance and allow life to flow, we get into the flow of the universe, the cycles, the flow of life, the things that science tells you about, the different laws. We begin to flow with that and experience the bliss and experience the real joy that we're here to live. But as we resist, we begin to contract and we don't expand and unfold like we're here to do. Instead, we suffer and resist and feel all these lower vibrations of anger and frustration, and it doesn't feel good. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to share that. We'll see if this actually makes it online. Peace.